Welcome to Next Step Communications from the Source, which is your point of connection with the work of the Source to build the heaven that your life and all of life was meant to be. This Source communication is part of a series of guided adventures into the world of miracle-based living. I'm Sherry Daniel. I'm the director of the Heaven Project and the founder of the Miracle School. I'll be your guide on this adventure. This guided adventure is sponsored by the Miracle School, which is a source-directed, miracle-based training program for spiritual activists. This guided adventure will give you an opportunity to journey into the world of miracle-based comfort and explore what it is like to have a life in which miracle-based comfort is your reality. Before we begin our adventure, I'll provide you with some important information about how to experience this guided miracle-based adventure. I'll begin by telling you a little bit about myself. On the outer plane, I'm the director of the Miracle School, which provides spiritual activists with the miracles from the Source that enable them to manifest a life that is heaven, heaven being the highest level of happiness that is possible for them. On the spiritual level, I am the manifestation of the implementation aspect of the Source. I have incarnated in order to communicate to you the Source perspective on the state of the world and to keep you abreast of the work of the Source to manifest the heaven that life was created to be. In this guided adventure, I will be introducing you to Source drawings, which are drawings that enable you to see the world as the Source sees it, and to experience spiritual energies that would otherwise not be within your normal range of perception. In this way, you can experience the spiritual level of reality as the Source perceives it, and better understand the Source perspective on the state of the world and on the Source solution miracles that the Source is bringing through to manifest a life that is heaven. The way to experience this adventure is to relax and open to the activation of your spiritual senses. This activation will enable you to perceive the spiritual energies and receive the personal communications from the Source that will come through on the inner plane through the sound of my voice, through the Source drawings, and through the energies that emanate from this video. These personal communications will help you to reconnect with the love of the Source for you individually, and the desire of the Source that you experience the deep comfort that will enable you to find relief from the stresses of your life, and will enable you to begin a journey toward perfect health and true happiness. Because this video is a miracle-based adventure, it is best worked with when you are in a quiet place and can concentrate and allow the full power of the transformational energies to build during the course of the video. After you have watched the video once from start to finish, you can watch the video again and choose to pause the video on any slide to experience the adventure that will unfold as you connect with the energies of the miracle-based adventure of this video. Because the Source knows you individually and can provide through the spiritual code that is transmitted in this video the kinds of miracle-based adventures that you need to understand miracle-based comfort and to begin to awaken to it in your own life, each time you work with an image in this video, you will be given new energies that are appropriate to your evolving level of understanding at that particular time. In this way, the Source can continue to provide you with the spiritual coaching that you need to bridge the gap between where you are currently in your understandings of the spiritual nature of reality and where you can be if you open to the miracle of miracle-based comfort. Multiple watchings of the video will deepen the power of it and enable you to continue to awaken your spiritual senses as you experience the heaven that your life can be. To journey into the world of miracle-based comfort, you will need to look through this portal and connect with the miracle-based adventure that will take you on an exploration of what miracle-based comfort is and how it can manifest in your life and in the world. You might want to pause the video so that you can have time to work with this portal. If you ask to connect to the energies of the portal, then your inner intelligence, which is the part of you that knows how to connect with the miracles of the Source, will enable you to get on board the miracle-based adventure of this video. When you feel like you've made the connection, then take the video off of pause and proceed on your adventure. Our first stop on this adventure is to understand what miracle-based comfort is. Miracle-based comfort is comfort that is not possible without miracles from the Source, the Creator, that enable it to manifest. With these miracles, it is comfort that is far deeper, richer, vaster, and more lasting than any ordinary comfort. Ordinary comfort could be a warm bath, an afternoon at the beach, a relaxing vacation, a delicious meal. This kind of comfort is generally accessible if you're willing to go to the effort to set it up, such as going on the vacation or cooking the delicious meal. Ordinary comfort only offers a small range of comfort because it lacks the miracles to bring through comfort at a greater level. You can see in this source drawing not only the energies of ordinary comfort and miracle-based comfort, but you can also see that the range of comfort that can be experienced in miracle-based comfort far exceeds the range of comfort that can be experienced through ordinary comfort. Miracle-based comfort is comfort that takes you to a level beyond ordinary comfort. It enables you to experience what I call integrated comfort, which is comfort that you can experience in your spiritual body-mind and in your physical body-mind. When all parts of you are in a state of comfort, integrated comfort has been achieved. When you are in a state of integrated comfort, comfort energies that are sent by the Source flow into you and reset the spiritual comfort dial in your spiritual suit to rest and regeneration. This enables you to start on your path to perfect health. Ordinary comfort affords comfort for your physical body-mind. I call this kind of comfort fragments, since it only gives you a partial experience of comfort. Comfort fragments distract you from the distress that you're experiencing in your spiritual body and mind, which you don't know how to assuage. Ultimately, however, the distress that your spiritual body-mind is experiencing will limit the comfort that your physical body-mind can experience. This distress maintains your suit, which is a source term for your spiritual and physical body and mind, in a state of distress that leads to degeneration on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual levels. This degeneration leads to diseases, accidents, and aging. This experience of a young woman enjoying the exhilaration of being in nature could be a moment of ordinary comfort where she is just experiencing comfort through her five senses, where her spiritual self is experiencing distress on other levels. Or it could be a moment of miracle-based comfort, where she is experiencing an infusion of comfort energies sent by the Source that give her spiritual suit a deep sense of well-being that goes far beyond what an ordinary moment of comfort could provide. Now let's take a closer look at what goes on the inner and outer planes and how this affects your experience of comfort. The creation is made of spiritual energies in varying degrees of density. Denser and more slow-moving energies are more material than less dense, faster-moving energies that are more immaterial. The least material energies reside in what I call the spiritual level, and the more material energies reside in what I call the physical level. Your suit has senses that can perceive all of the levels of energy of which you and the world around you are made. With your sixth sense, you can perceive the spiritual level and the subtle physical level. Both of these levels are not perceptible to your five senses that were designed to enable you to perceive only the fully materialized physical level that is the organic world around you. As you can see, most of your world lies beyond the range of your five senses. Because people generally have not developed their sixth sense, they don't know what is happening in the 90% of their life experience which can't be perceived by their five senses. In the next source drawing, I will be taking you on a tour of the subtle physical level which you can't perceive with your five senses, but which is visible to your sixth sense. I will also be talking about the energies that manifest at the materialized physical level, which is visible to your five senses. What exists on the subtle physical level, which I will refer to here as the inner plane, is what manifests on the materialized physical level, which I will refer to here as the outer plane. Most people have been incarnating for billions of lifetimes. They have experienced the distress of scarcity, hardship, struggle, disease, cruelty, crime, wars, betrayals, and child abuse, and they have died in traumatic ways, leaving behind much that was unresolved about their lives. Their spiritual suit retains the memory of these distressing moments. These distress energies are symbolized by the black spheres. They might, for instance, remember on some subconscious level that they drowned in a previous lifetime and react with fear whenever there is any mention of going swimming in this lifetime, even though no unpleasant experience has occurred around swimming in the current lifetime. Many people suffer from anxiety, depression, and phobias that relate to the distress energies that they carry in their spiritual suit. They often resort to antidepressants to try to control these emotions because secular psychotherapy doesn't enable them to put them to rest, because it only relates to their experiences in their present lifetime. Distress energies are more than memories. They are imprinted with the energy imprint of the event that initially caused the distress. This distress becomes a negative karmic imprint that can manifest in their physical life, magnetizing the energies on the outer plane to replicate the kind of distressing event that created the original imprint. These karmic imprints are the seeds of suffering that are sown in the field of life that exists on the materialized physical level. These seeds of suffering grow into the weeds of suffering that propagate more distress on the outer plane and more distress on the inner plane. For example, once the initial negative karmic imprint has played itself out, it can generate a secondary distress, which is then manifested on the outer plane. The record of this event is then stored as a karmic imprint on the inner plane and can seed itself into the outer plane life of the suit in future times. For example, if a person has sustained an injury in a previous lifetime, the distress of that injury remains as a negative karmic imprint on the inner plane. It then magnetizes the events on the outer plane that replicate the same injury. An instance of this is the case of a woman who had suffered from severe disfiguring burns over most of her body in 2 previous lifetimes, and who was burned in this lifetime again in a similar way. The power of the negative karmic imprints activated the sequence of events that led to a replication of the same distressing circumstance in this lifetime. The secondary distress of the impact of this on her current life then becomes an additional negative karmic imprint that can replicate itself as well. Karmic imprints of positive events can also exist on the inner plane. In this source drawing, I'm depicting moments of miracle-based comfort as the pink and blue spheres. These imprints also seed themselves on the outer plane, leading to the capacity for moments of miracle-based comfort at both inner and outer plane levels. Because most people don't know where to begin with eliminating distress that exists on the inner plane, they often resort to dodging distress by seeking to comfort themselves with pleasure highs. These pleasure highs are comfort fragments. People are driven to seek them when the distress that they are experiencing in their lives on the inner and outer planes prompts them to seek relief. The comfort fragments are often culturally approved ways of distracting themselves from the distress that they're experiencing on deeper levels. These behaviors can vary from more healthy pursuits, such as curling up by the fire and reading a book, or going on a well-needed vacation, to substance-induced distractions that limit the capacity of the mind to focus on distress. These substance-induced distractions might be drinking, smoking, doing drugs, eating sugar and chocolate and the like. These behaviors create in the culturally conditioned aspect of the suit a sense that whatever comfort is possible has been achieved, and it gives the person a sense of being in control of the experience of comfort, because they can self-medicate with a substance or activity that they are using to achieve this culturally approved idea of comfort. The problem with this is that the natural suit, which is the aspect of the suit that knows what is really needed to counter the danger of the negative karmic imprints and to achieve integrated comfort, reacts with rage toward the culturally conditioned suit for leading it down a path that is resulting in distress and degeneration. It's like a wild animal that knows that it's dying, and that however favorably the comfort fragments may be billed in the cultural repertoire of ways to find comfort, they all add up to the degeneration that is adding another layer of distress to the already heavy load of distress that is being carried from life to life. The natural suit feels abandoned and afraid because it knows that many of the comfort fragments are actually accelerating the degeneration process, such as smoking leading to lung cancer and drinking leading to serious damage to the liver. It can't feel good about any of this and yearns to return to a natural way of life that builds the foundation of integrated comfort upon which real pleasures can be experienced. It knows that if it lacks a foundation of integrated comfort, then it is in a state of fear and sadness, and that this detracts from its ability to enjoy the pure pleasures that it knows that the Source has created for it. It therefore lives in the understanding that it is missing out on the true happiness that it could be having in exchange for the culturally approved idea of happiness that it knows is really a downhill slide into disease and death. The distress of the natural suit magnifies the distress already manifesting on the outer plane, and then a record of it is added to the distress on the inner plane. The natural suit is angry because the culturally conditioned suit is not dealing with the real problem, which is that unless there is a greater level of comfort energies in the suit, the spiritual comfort dial in the suit is set to distress and degeneration. This is what leads to the diseases of the body, mind, and spirit. The natural suit wants the culturally conditioned suit to seek integrated comfort that fills the suit with the comfort energies sent by the Source that resets the comfort dial to rest and regeneration, and then sustains the state of comfort until the suit is at peace and able to open to the pure pleasures of life that the Source sends its way. The natural suit doesn't believe that the only pleasures are the superficial comfort fragments that the culturally conditioned suit is avidly pursuing. It knows that there is something far better that can come through, and it wants the culturally conditioned suit to cooperate with the process of manifesting this. The culturally conditioned suit often responds to the protests of the natural suit by trying to override the natural suit and do the comfort fragments longer and louder. It will even engage in life-threatening sports in order to create such a narrow focus that the protests of the natural suit are completely overridden. To the culturally conditioned suit, this is a moment of triumph over the body. To the natural suit, it is a moment of madness, of a complete failure to appreciate the miracle of life and to treasure the opportunity to be in a well-protected and nurtured suit in order to enjoy the experience of life. The natural suit sees this as a setup for serious distress ahead in the current lifetime and in lifetimes to come. The end result is an amplification of distress on both levels. The source solution to this conflict between the natural suit and the culturally conditioned suit is the comfort campaign that provides the culturally conditioned suit with the understandings that it needs to have in order to follow the lead of the source to achieve integrated comfort, which will ameliorate suffering at its root and lay the foundation for perfect health and for pure pleasure and true happiness. Let's take a look at how this is possible. Integrated comfort begins when the suit receives energy infusions of integrated comfort energies. These energies give the suit the capacity to experience integrated comfort and to escape from many levels of the distress that would otherwise drive it toward the comfort fragments. The next step is to begin creating the conditions in your life and in your world in which distress is eliminated, making room for integrated comfort to become your reality in every aspect of your life. This is both a process of working individually on your own way of life and working with others in the global and universal community to bring through the source-given way of life that engenders integrated comfort for every member of the community. In the highest level of integrated comfort, absolute comfort is achieved. Absolute comfort is when the being is no longer avoiding distress and seeking comfort for its own sake, but is merged into the love connection with the Source and is experiencing the eternal comfort that comes from the Source. Then the comforts of the world are a delight, but there's no fear of ever being lost in a state of discomfort, because there's an abiding sense of absolute comfort that is always present, no matter how challenging the experiences of a lifetime. Being in a state of absolute comfort doesn't mean that the physical body doesn't experience discomforts from hunger or fatigue or pain. It means the experience of absolute and abiding comfort enables the body to relax and turn to the Source for miracle-based comfort that enables the state of absolute comfort that is being experienced at the spiritual level to be expressed at the physical level. No distress energies are generated once you're in a state of absolute comfort, and age-old negative karmic imprints dissolve, leaving you free to experience abundance and good fortune in your current life and in your lifetimes to come. Once you have obtained absolute comfort, you are content in experiencing the love connection with the Source, where you experience your capacity to become love in action, expressing your love for the Source and for the opportunity to experience life, and receiving and celebrating the love that is given to you by the Source. It is from this platform of absolute comfort that you become able to open to the experience of pure pleasure. Pure pleasure is the Source term for the Source-given moments that enable you to use the full range of your spiritual senses to experience the joy of life at every level. As you relax into the miracle-based adventures that awaken your spiritual senses and expand your capacity to experience the exquisite range of pure pleasure at both the spiritual and physical levels, you begin to realize the heaven that life was created to be. This pleasure stems from the capacity to see the miracle that lies latent in all of life and to become the love that nurtures that miracle and helps to bring it to fruition. Once you can see the miracle of life on spiritual and physical levels, then you are able to awaken to the ongoing miracle-based adventure of life that the Source is sending to you. This adventure enables you to experience pure pleasure while bringing out the miracle that lies latent in every moment, whether this is a moment of soul-to-soul interaction, a quiet moment in nature, a moment of great achievement, or a moment of cooking a meal or cleaning the house. Because you are in a state of absolute comfort, you have access to the full range of your spiritual senses, which are greatly limited when your suit is experiencing distress on any level. If you think back on the drawing of the different levels of materiality, where only about 10% of your life experience engages your five senses, You can imagine how much pure pleasure you're missing out on if you're not able to access your sixth sense, which enables you to experience pure pleasure on the spiritual level and on the subtle physical level. When you have access to the full range of your senses, spiritual and physical, then a richness of experience is possible that simply can't be fathomed until you have regained access to this complete range of experiencing. The result is a life that is replete with ongoing experiences of pure pleasure that far exceed what most people think is possible. Many people have erroneously thought that to be spiritual is to be ascetic and world-renouncing. The Source created the manifest world to be a heaven in which beings could experience the full range of their capacity to enjoy life in manifest forms. This enjoyment was not designed to be a selfish indulgence, but rather an intelligent nurturing of the miracle of life which the Source had given them. In this nurturing, they were to celebrate the beauty of the heaven that can manifest in every moment. If beings had worked with the Source at the beginning of the creation to set up the conditions in which the heaven of true happiness could manifest, then life would have been heaven. Instead, they ran off in pursuit of comfort fragments and broke their connection to the Source on many levels. They then experienced fear of pain and greed for comfort and pleasures. They lost the ultimate comfort that comes from the love connection with the Source that enables their suits to relax and open to the experiences sent to them by the Source that yield pure pleasure. In the end, they created the world of suffering that we live in today, where wars, crimes, domestic violence, child abuse, and the like have resulted from people's self-directed search for comfort and pleasures. The only way out is a return to miracle-based comfort, which opens the door to pure pleasure, which in turn opens the door to true happiness. When you finally have mastered the art of treasuring the miracles of life and experiencing the pure pleasure that the Source sends to you, then your suit becomes capable of running the current of true happiness. When this occurs, your life lights up with true happiness, and the current of true happiness jumps to others in your life, helping them to rise above their fear, to experience true happiness. Those receiving a jump start from others of the true happiness current will move very rapidly past ordinary comforts to absolute comfort. They can then move on to the experience of pure pleasure, and to true happiness itself, where they too can start running the true happiness current. This work is what will form a united global community that recognizes the importance of creating the conditions in which miracle-based comfort can be achieved and sustained. This global community will be willing to work cooperatively together to achieve this goal. Now that we have explored the ultimate goal of miracle-based comfort, let's explore how in the world of miracle-based living it is possible to achieve this goal. Our adventure will now take us on the path to the best way to achieve absolute comfort. Your first step is to go to the place where absolute comfort is possible. Then follow the path to integrated comfort until you arrive at absolute comfort. Let's begin with taking a look at the miracle reality, which is the place where absolute comfort is possible. The miracle reality is a world replete with integrated comfort energies. This makes the path to absolute comfort an easy path in an optimal terrain. It is also the spiritual place where the universal miracle-based community has gathered. They are beings from every part of the creation who are working with the Source to create the conditions in which integrated comfort can be possible for everyone. They support your individual work to achieve integrated comfort in your personal life, and you can work with them to create the conditions for integrated comfort in the community. The immense help that you receive from being in a protected, miracle-rich environment in the company of those who are willing to work to make integrated comfort a reality is like nothing that you can experience in the world of suffering, that is the world that lies outside of the miracle reality. In the world of suffering, the energies are sullied by all of the fear, anger, greed, and violence that is played out in this dog-eat-dog reality. This field of negative energy is very miracle unfriendly, which means that the miracles of integrated comfort have a hard time landing and taking root here. Instead of being welcomed by a community that is working together to bring through integrated comfort for all, integrated comfort energies are often targeted by the negativity, the criminal element that operates on the inner plane, that sees integrated comfort as a threat to its harvesting operation. Members of the negativity can only feed off of low vibrational energies, since they have disconnected from the energies of life coming from the source and have no way to sustain themselves unless they can harvest the life energies of beings who are more source-connected. They don't want any being to achieve a state of absolute comfort that will enable them to be impervious to their attempts to harvest their life energies. They therefore attack the comfort energies that come into the world of suffering to try to drive them away before they enable beings to heal and be protected from their harvesting operation. The comfort energies that are landing in this spiritual space have to mount a counterattack to deliver their healing to the beings requesting miracle-based comfort and to try to build a place for themselves in the negative field of energy. Although they can defeat many of the attackers and expand their operation in the world of suffering, more attackers soon appear to counter their operation. The struggle to achieve integrated comfort in the world of suffering greatly hampers a person on their path to integrated comfort. This is why the Source has created the alternate spiritual space of the miracle reality, in order to provide beings traveling the path to integrated comfort with an optimal spiritual environment in which to progress on their journey. This is why, in the best way to achieve absolute comfort, you begin with entering into the miracle reality. So as a part of our continuing tour of the best way to achieve absolute comfort, your next step after entering the miracle reality is to follow the path to integrated comfort until you arrive at absolute comfort. So let's take a look at the different milestones along this path. Milestone number 1 is to receive the Integrated Comfort Code. The Integrated Comfort Code is sent to you by the Source, represented here by the white sphere to the right. When it reaches your suit, your inner intelligence works with the code to enable your suit to participate in a lifetime of miracle-based adventures that enable you to travel the path to integrated comfort and enjoy miracle-based comfort even when you've arrived at your destination, which is absolute comfort. These miracle-based adventures are code-staged, inner and outer experiences that enable you to experience integrated comfort and also to understand what you need to do to create the conditions in which integrated comfort can be experienced in every aspect of your life. The Integrated Comfort Code generates the code for these adventures, and also for the adventure props, which are the physical objects, events, interactions, and inner thoughts and experiences that enable you to experience integrated comfort. For instance, the code might stage an integrated comfort adventure when you return home from work. You might sit on your couch and discover that it has been transformed into an adventure prop, into a comfort zone that you sink into and experience a level of comfort that you've never experienced before. Or it might stage an infusion of comfort energies that surround you and others during a tense moment at work, where tempers might fly and conflict might become intractable. These comfort energies can transform the moment into one that is relaxed and productive and brings everyone into a greater experience of how to work cooperatively to address the problems at hand. It is through integrated comfort adventures that you will learn how to experience integrated comfort in every aspect of your life. They are also how you will recognize the distress-inducing aspects of your life that need to be changed, and you'll be shown how to change them. The adventurer will walk you through the transformational process, manifesting the change as you participate in the adventure. While it is best to receive some training in how to recognize the miracle of a miracle-based adventure as it is unfolding, it is possible to just flow with the adventure and awaken more gradually over time. Now let's go to milestone number 2, where you reset your comfort dial to rest and regeneration. It is only when the energy field surrounding your suit fills up with enough comfort energies that it is possible for the source to reset your spiritual comfort dial to rest and regeneration. Until then, the dial is set to distress and degeneration, which takes you down the path to disease, accidents, and aging. To fill up your energy field with comfort energies requires a miracle-based adventure that draws on the adventure prop of the comfort blanket. This adventure begins when you select the blanket that you would like to become your comfort blanket. The blanket can be of any color or design. It can be a new blanket that you purchase for this step of your journey, or a blanket that you already own. The next step is to receive the code that will transform it into a comfort blanket that draws in comfort energies whenever you are in contact with the blanket. The next step is to begin a miracle-based adventure with your comfort blanket, which turns on to draw to your energy field the comfort energies that replace distress energies with comfort energies. When you have the right amount of comfort energies, then the source is able to reset the comfort dial. Now let's explore milestone number 3, which is to receive the comfort channel to supply your suit with comfort energies. The first step is to receive the code for comfort shoes. When you have a pair of comfort shoes, they generate the channel of comfort energies that surrounds you 24/7, whether or not you're wearing the shoes that grounded the code. This comfort channel is what suffuses your suit with comfort energies that drive out the distress energies and enable you to experience an ever-deepening sense of integrated comfort. While the comfort blanket provides your energy field surrounding your body with comfort energies, the comfort channel provides your suit with the comfort energies that it needs to begin resting and rejuvenating. Now let's explore milestone number 4, which is to release distress energies. Although comfort energies will displace distress energies on many levels, it is also important to go on miracle-based adventures to more aggressively eliminate the distress energies that are reproducing distressing events in your life. As you can see from the earlier source drawing depicting what exists on the inner plane, there are a lot of distress energies that you need to begin clearing out to make room for more comfort energies. To do this, you will need the miracle tool called the Distress Releaser. This is a red fabric-covered foam ball that you can hold in the palm of your hand. When you squeeze the distress releaser, this is what happens on the inner plane. The distress releaser moves in on the subtle physical level and begins eliminating the distress energies on that level. This pulls the energy plug on the distress energies that are manifesting on the material level. While what has materialized as illness, financial misfortunes, troubled relationships, and the like will not vanish immediately, as do the distress energies themselves, when the energy support for these negative manifestations is no longer there, it will help you to make the changes in your life that will free you from them. For example, if an illness is manifested, when there is no longer a power source of distress energies driving the illness, healing can more readily occur. If financial misfortune has manifested, when there's no longer an influx of distress energies driving people and opportunities away from you, the door can open to greater abundance. In the case of troubled relationships, when the distress energies are no longer fueling conflict, then the integrated comfort energies can come into the relationship and bring the healing that is needed. Everything gets better when the distress energies, particularly those with negative karmic clout, are out of the picture and comfort energies are coming in greater numbers to bring healing and good fortune. Now let's explore milestone number 5. Embark on guided integrated comfort adventures. In addition to the lifetime of miracle-based adventures that are generated by the Integrated Comfort Code, there are also guided integrated comfort adventures that I offer to you that bring in more powerful code that enables you to move more rapidly on your path to integrated comfort. These adventures send in powerful rays of source energies that create a miracle-based energy medium in which you experience the adventure unfolding in your everyday life. These guided adventures offer you the chance to receive individual and group coaching that enables you to understand how to work with integrated comfort adventures so that you can benefit from the full range of what is being offered to you. Discovering the treasures of a miracle-based adventure is something like going birdwatching. If you were to go out on your own, you might miss seeing a lot of the different types of birds in the habitat, because you don't have a practiced eye and you don't know the habits of the birds. But if you go out with a guide who helps you to spot all of the different kinds of birds that are actually present in the habitat, then you will have a much richer experience and will be better trained to spot them yourself when you next go birdwatching. This is the kind of help that I can give you in guided miracle-based adventure training webinars, where I give you the code for a miracle-based adventure and then help you to pick up on how it is playing out in the moment so that you can learn how to work with miracle-based adventures better when you are on your own. I also offer you a range of guided miracle-based adventures where I provide the guidance through inner plane coaching and then provide backup outer plane coaching through coaching sessions by email or by phone or in person in the Ultimate Spiritual Healing Center in Seattle, Washington. Since I am able to track what the adventure was intended to play out and how your suit connected to it on inner and outer plane levels, I am able to provide you with feedback that helps you to bring the miracle of it into better focus. This is of great help in your ability to participate fully in miracle-based adventures in every aspect of your life. Since integrated comfort adventures are how you will transform your life into a life of integrated comfort, some of the adventures that your integrated comfort code will generate can span months and even years, and will provide you with the staging for how to transition every aspect of your life, from the way that you think and feel, to the way that you relate to others, handle your financial decisions, choose the possessions that become a part of your life adventure, and build a way of life that is conducive to integrated comfort. Coaching support for working with this long-term, fundamentally life-altering aspect of the adventure is important to your ability to achieve the results of not only miracle-based comfort, but of a miracle-based way of life in which miracle-based comfort is only one aspect. Now let's take a look at several guided integrated comfort adventures. One of the integrated comfort adventures that provides you with an intense infusion of comfort energies is the Comfort Infusion Adventure. Even those who have a steady supply of comfort energies from the comfort blanket and the comfort shoes will occasionally choose to embark on a comfort infusion adventure in order to supply themselves with more rapidly administered and powerful comfort energies. These might be needed in times of stress, such as during a period of intense work or caregiving, or during a life crisis, such as the loss of a loved one. Such an infusion of comfort energies can only accelerate the journey to absolute comfort. During a comfort infusion, you sit quietly in a place where you will not be disturbed. You turn on music that has become coded as an adventure prop. This music carries the energies of the infusion. The infusion generally lasts for about 30 minutes, and you remain in the glow of it for days afterwards. Now let's take a look at the Comfort Oasis adventure. A being comes into the Comfort Oasis on the inner plane, surrounded by their distress, which is symbolized by the gray sphere that encompasses them. As the love connection energies in the Comfort Oasis network to the energy field surrounding the suit and to the suit, the distress energies start to melt away, and the being begins to fill up with the love connection energies, which is what comfort energies are on a technical level. As they continue to merge into the love connection energies, they begin to merge into the love connection. This gives them a deepening experience of integrated comfort. It is the closest experience to absolute comfort that can be attained until a being is fully willing to let go of their fear of distress and their attachment to the pursuit of comfort. Finally, the being becomes one with the love connection energies. This is what it feels like to obtain absolute comfort. While a Comfort Oasis adventure will not necessarily result in a transition into eternal absolute comfort, it will take you closer to an experience of this, so that your suit can relax and realize that absolute comfort is really what it wants, not the transitory comfort fragments to which it may have been clinging. Now let's explore milestone number 6. Learn how to read the Comfort Code. The Comfort Code is a massive code that no being can carry in their suit. They can, however, learn how to read it. It contains the secrets for how to create the conditions for integrated comfort in every aspect of life, in your spiritual life, in your social life, and in your physical life. It was by reading the Comfort Code that the 14 prototype communities that I established thousands of years ago during my previous lifetimes in different parts of the creation were able to transition every aspect of their lives into lives that are conducive to the sustained experience of integrated comfort. They had to take a hard look at all of their social practices and see whether they were creating distress at any level. If they were, then they would turn to the Comfort Code to find an alternative that would only create integrated comfort. In this way, they were able to eliminate whatever damaged them on any level. When the damaging of their suits stopped, they were able to travel the journey to perfect health, which they have enjoyed for thousands of years. They have totally eradicated all disease, accidents, and aging. They live in well-functioning suits until it is time to leave their life and continue on with their mission in another incarnation. They then just peacefully step out of their suit and continue on with their adventure. In the Comfort Campaign, I will be helping you to follow in their footsteps and achieve the same excellent results in our modern times. To reach milestone number 7, you join in the work of the Universal Miracle-Based Community to create the conditions for integrated comfort for all members of the community. Let's take a look at what this community is like in action. The work of the Universal Miracle-Based Community is to work with the Comfort Code, which is depicted as the sphere to the left, and with the source represented by the white light to the right, to help every member of the community to achieve integrated comfort. In this source drawing, the blue spheres represent members of the community. You can see that there is a conflict between two members of the community. This is represented by the black arrows between these two beings. The rest of the community gathers to help. One reads the Comfort Code for instructions on how to help, and the other sends a request to the source for a miracle-based adventure to help restore integrated comfort for the two beings who are in conflict. The source responds by sending in the code for a miracle-based adventure that will help them to resolve their conflict. The adventure code generates an integrated comfort adventure that surrounds the two beings who are in conflict, providing them with the comfort energies that help them to relax and release from their fear that is driving the conflict. The miracle-based adventures that might include many life experiences that they individually have and which they have together, help them to build new understandings that enable them to resolve their conflict. In time, the conflict is resolved and they return to live harmoniously with one another and with the community. In this way, the universal miracle-based community is equipped to resolve problems that would otherwise result in schisms in the community that divide beings and foment social unrest. With miracle-based technology, it is possible to build a universal love-based community that nurtures all of its own, just as the 14 prototype communities have been successfully built and have achieved this result. At milestone number 8, you arrive at your destination, which is absolute comfort. To arrive at absolute comfort, you need to work with all of the adventure props and miracle-based adventures that the Source will send you along the way to get to the point at which your suit releases into the love connection with the Source that enables it to transcend the fear of distress and the attachments to comfort fragments. In the love connection, you experience transcendent comfort that is so profound that it is possible for you to deal with the stresses of life, of the world as it currently is, without generating distress energies and without dropping out of the rest and regeneration mode that enables you to achieve perfect health and lay the foundation for pure pleasure and true happiness. To get a sense of what this could be like for you, you can pause the video and ask your inner intelligence to help you connect with the energies of absolute comfort that are transmitted through this source drawing. Through connecting to these energies, you will begin to have a sense of the comfort that is possible when you transcend fear and live in the perfect love of the love connection with the Source. In this love connection, you experience yourself as an embodiment of love, giving love to the Source as an expression of your recognition of the miracle of life that the Source has given you, and receiving the miracle of Source love that manifests the potential for heaven in every moment of your life. Now that we are concluding our guided adventure, I'm sending you a gift from the Source. This is an opportunity to join in the ongoing guided adventure of the Comfort Campaign, which is a campaign created to enable all beings to achieve integrated comfort at the highest level. The Comfort Campaign is your link to the world of miracle-based comfort. To receive this gift from the Source, go to www.themiracleschool.net/comfort campaign. Become a part of the Comfort Campaign and help to manifest miracle-based comfort for yourself and for all others.